We're live. All right, finally. Man, that's all right.
Those were needed.
We did it, baby. Hey, baby. All right. We made it. We famous finally.
No, that's Big Sean. I tell you, the dawn rises in the dark night, so the soul say, the dawn.
Yo, it's getting cold. Okay.
Till we rise.
All right. Yeah. Fuck all that. Okay. All right. Yep. So, yeah, man, we talking about money, you know, and you know, I feel like being funny gets you that money. Playboy bunny. Yeah. But I say one man for one honey. You know, and maybe I'll die this way, but I ride this way, so line them up. Man, yo, I just saw an old recording of Shazia voicemail she sent me, and I feel like calling her, man. I want to talk to her, but you know, good old Sum Young Moon, you know. I mean, he was married 2 times before his 3rd wife, and you know, 42. You know, blessed once, said I'm done. You know, and I feel like, you know, that's the thing, man. It's like ladies appreciate work, and that's why we let them work for their king, right? Because they appreciate a man's work, but they know ladies, you know, they have their own style. So we're on the 11th mile now, not the 11th hour. And I don't like a golden shower. You know, we've got to turn them cowards into much more self-esteem, proud of. So George, I mean, how should we proceed from here? I mean, we can post this up on YouTube later, but you know, for me, man, it's like
monetarily.
You know Dave Ramsey?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So his course, financial literacy, right? I remember my brother loved that course. It's very practical, you know. Don't take no credit cards. You know, basically, you know, don't go into debt. If you're in debt, pay off that debt as soon as possible. You know, have a stable income source to enable your second income source, right? So there's no shame in working a 9 to 5, but don't let the dream die with that. You know, stay focused.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, yeah.
Like you said, I don't want to let the dream die with the 9 to 5. But at the same time,
That's right. And you know, I remember. That's a funny thing, you know. My brother is a lawyer. He's you know, he likes the practical financial literacy. He loves Dave Ramsey. I prefer. I mean, Dave Ramsey's a Christian man, you know, and he goes back to a lot of biblical principles. There was a pastor I was listening to recently who talked about how Jesus, you know, 16 of his 38 parables were about money, right?
Okay.
There's, you know, the parable about what do you do with what you're given, right? There's the 3 people where the master of the land gives 3 of the servants different levels of grain, and each one does something different with it, right? And there's that one. Now, again, Jesus always cautioned the people not to get lost in the pursuit of money, right? It's easier for a mule to get an eye of a needle than for a rich man, right? Because it's not about material, right? The kingdom of God is within, right? So, again, you have to be able to understand the beauty of subtlety, you know? I mean, you can be the richest man on earth and not flaunt it. I mean, actually, here in America, 95% of millionaires drive either a Camry or an Accord, not Rolls Royces, not Mercedes, not you know, why is that, right? Because
Well, it
I feel like
becomes a liability.
it's a liability, right? The insurance, I mean, it's like, you're trying to show off. I mean, there's a time for that. But, like, are you trying to take care of your family first, or are you trying to show off first, right?
Are you trying to feed the family, or are you trying to negate the family for personal gain?
And I feel like, so for me, T. Harv Eker, I like his Secrets of a Millionaire Mindset. I like his approach. That's a book I definitely recommend, because he says that spirituality is so important. It's basically the priority for financial freedom. And his story, Secrets of a Millionaire Mindset, again, he's like several hundred million, his net worth, something like that. And he's only 54 right now. And, he talks about how it began with a prayer for him. He had tried opening a gym. He had tried all these different things, but then he had talked with his pops. And, his pops was like, introduced him to a good friend of his. And his friend was telling him about, I don't recall exactly at the moment, but basically it put him back to prayer. And in his prayer, he said, God, if you can show me the way to be, rich, I'll share it with anybody who listen. Right. And then from that point on, he says that was the starting point of all of his riches. And, but again, I mean, he goes into the detail of the psychology, because there's many things, right? We all grow up with a certain context. And he says that, hold on a second. Let me talk to me a little bit, George, because you make a lot more money than me. So talk to me a little bit,
I feel like it's the context of being able to keep it level-headed, even though as money starts to become less and less of a priority. Some people figure that out as they get money. Some people figure it out when they have no money, that money is no priority. At the same time, that's almost an ignorant set of thoughts, because if you're living in America specifically, you're going to be compounded by high interest. You're going to be compounded by everything they want to do to make – the corporation's got to make their money either way. So the little guys – no matter what you do, if you're trying to do it alone, back to your point, if you're trying to do it alone, you're going to put yourself in like you're going to put walls around yourself, which are going to not further you. Like you said, if you have the opportunity to share how to make wealth and put more people into that conversation with you, it's only going to yield more of a higher result for those around, regardless. Some people like to keep it to themselves and just say, I'm making this money. What would it be to me if I just gave it to someone else? When I had nothing, no one gave me anything. Well, that's not how you further the wealth conversation. You need more people to have higher levels of wealth so that all of you can have a further conversation of where it goes. I mean, like, if I'm sitting here making whatever I make and I have no one to talk to financially, how far can I get? It's only as far as the internet and my own resources are going to take me. But if my resources are just me, I'm going to enable myself to make less over spans of time.
The dream, what is it? The dream, how's it go again? The team makes the dream work, right?
Teamwork makes the dream work no matter what.
Right. I mean, because that's the thing, man. Like, Eckhart Tolle, he's another person, several hundred million, right? But he's like, again, he always, and he wrote his first book at 50. He's 70, he's 73, 74 now, worth several hundred million. And he wrote his first book at 50 that propelled him to international acclaim.
750 million now. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you even get to the million level, like, there's no way you're going to be able to do it by yourself without a team. There's going to be so much. Your budget's going to increase. As you make more money, your budget of things that you need for comfort and living expenses normally will rise. And like you said, even most of the rich people, they don't drive. Most of the millionaires or billionaires, they don't drive the Rolls Royces or the $1 million, $100,000 cars. Because sometimes they understand the budget. They understand that the budget could stay lower and they could have more throughout the time through investments and other things. I mean, if we're just sitting here saving